I've seen a lot of patients that have said, I wish I would have vaccinated.
Doctors are working around the clock in Republic tonight after a super spreader event infected close to 100 people with the coronavirus. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Good evening, I'm Whitney Ward. That outbreak has now had a profound effect on that small town as well as the entire Tri-County region. I paid a visit to Republic just yesterday to see how they're managing all those new cases and also what they are bracing for next.
We were getting a significant uptick in people calling in and showing up ill, and that's when we knew we had a real problem.
In a quiet town of about 1,100 people, numbers tend to speak for themselves.
At Ferry County Hospital, that rate of positivity is extremely high. It's close to 25%.
And each morning has brought troubling new numbers ever since this event at the Republic Eagles Club, promising dinner, karaoke, and a costume contest.
Up until now, we had, in the whole county, I want to say we had 70-some cases. And we're way past double that now in the last couple weeks.
So since last March, you're saying you guys had that many cases,
right?
And then just in a couple of weeks, you guys have way surpassed that.
Yep, since the 10th, 100 new cases.
And the ripple effect has been swift. Several area businesses temporarily shutting down because so many employees are home sick or in quarantine. County services are severely limited. Even court cases are now being delayed. A local bank had to bring in temporary workers from neighboring towns just to stay open, and one of the only grocery stores in town also closed early. Not to mention the strain on the only hospital for at least 50 miles in any direction.
We're a rural hospital. It takes a lot. We all wear many hats. Sometimes I'm the social worker, discharge planner, and we have a basic level of staffing, and this has required a lot more.
Has it been hard to keep up?
It has been. We have, we're busy as it is. It's a one-man show. A lot of the times as a physician. We've had our rooms full, patients waiting to get in, be seen, and get taken care of.
The actual event took place here at the Eagles Club on the northwest side of Republic. Several people also told us that there were at least 100 people in attendance and that in some measure the event was a protest against COVID restrictions. But when I reached out to the head trustee of the Eagles chapter here, he told me that is simply not true. Was it a COVID protest of any kind?
No, not at all. Not at all. This actually started the Friday before our event. We had a membership drive. Every Friday we usually have a dinner up here, play a little poker, other gambling games and stuff. Somebody showed up that night at our poker table, and a couple days later I find out everybody at that table was sick. I feel we did all the right steps. We're not going to go out in the community and say that this is not our fault. It's everybody's fault when something like this happens, and we got to take part of our piece of this and try and work through it and reopen in a safer manner.
What will that mean? Will you do things differently moving forward?
Yes, we're not going to run any large events for the time being. With the help of the hospital and the health department, we're going to try and put on some sort of vaccination drive to help people in our neighborhood maybe help see this a little clearer.
County health officials agree vaccinations will be key in the long run, but finding room to take care of the sickest patients now is the real priority.
We've had a real problem getting beds. Those ICU beds are very tight, and we've had to send over to Wenatchee, down to Yakima, and so that's been a real challenge, and that's going to continue to be a challenge for the next several weeks as we see more cases come out of this.
So far, there have been no deaths from this COVID outbreak, but multiple patients are critical. And as another hard day comes to an end, a Life Flight helicopter lands just outside Ferry County Health, picking up one of those COVID patients, rushing them to a Spokane hospital, as doctors and the rest of this community wait to see what tomorrow's numbers will be.
So at this point, that virus is now spreading way beyond that one event. The health officer also told me it's just a matter of time now before we start to see new cases in other outlying communities like Curlew or even Tonasket and other parts of Northeast Washington.
It just shows you how quickly it can spread, right? And in small communities like that, how big of an impact that has.
No question about that.
My goodness, nice work, Whitney.